morning, friends. Happy Friday. All right. If you find something we're doing is a little too challenging, please take the modification, take your time, listen to your body. If your body is like, oh, maybe your shoulder just is like, we're not gonna do that today, don't do it. Do something a little bit different. Find the sweet spot that works for you, okay? If you need a little bit more challenge, then by all means, go a little faster, go a little harder, and do the advanced version of the exercise. All right, our warm up today is going to be mat shuffles and then plank jacks. Mat shuffles and plank jacks. We are getting started in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, we start at one end of the mat, we get a little squat, and we shuffle, and we shuffle. Modification, if you need it, you can stand all the way up and still do the shuffle, right? You're gonna get a little bit more out of it if you get in that little squat there. And it's little tiny steps, it's not big ones. Keep those hands up, don't let the arms just dangle there. All right, we're bringing it down for our plank jacks. You can be on elbows or hands for this. I'm gonna go hands. We're ready. Let's go. So here's your plank jack. Modification, which I'm gonna be doing, is here. So it's not like this, right? Try to keep that butt down as you're taking those legs in and out. And same thing if you're doing the modified version, but stays down. Bring it up. And we're back to our mat shuffles. We're ready. Let's go. Keep your back nice and flat, keep your chest up. Try not to, you don't want to be doing it like this, right? Maybe here. Chest up, flat back. Almost there. All right, coming back down for our plank jacks. Wrist directly under shoulders. And here we go. Pick that head up. Keep the butt down. Make sure your hands are in your peripheral vision. If you're looking directly at them, either pick the head up, pull the hands back. Bring it on up. One more round each. All right. Let's go. Chest up, pick those arms up, engage them. Don't let them flop around like this. We don't want that. Almost there. Keep it going, keeping that heart rate up. One more round of your plank jack. Nice flat back. Press through the plank of the pecs in your plank. Don't let your shoulders take on all of that. Keep the core tight and the butt down. And breathe. Almost there. Bring it on up. All righty. We have 6 exercises today. We're going to do each one for 1 minute. Setting up the timer now. All right. 6 exercises each. 6 exercises, 1 minute each. We'll do everything 3 times. And then we'll take a break in between each full 6-minute circuit, okay? First exercise of the day is gonna be a squat with an overhead press. If you don't have a dumbbell or a pair of dumbbells, you can use anything that has some weight to it, right? A bag of dog food, a bottle of laundry detergent, maybe even your dog, okay? If your dog is that compliant. All right, guys, it's gonna be a squat with an overhead press. And if you don't have anything at all to use, that's totally fine. Don't feel pressured. You can just do the squat and the movement of the overhead press. Getting started in 3, 2, 1. I'm going with one 20-pound weight, right? You could use a pair of weights. Instead, if you prefer, you can use your kettlebell. Send those hips back behind you. Pick up the toes. Sit down into it. And then press overhead. Exhale, right here. Push through those glutes on the way up. And we have 15 seconds left. Almost there. All right, next up, we have our walkout push-ups. You're at one end of your mat. You're gonna hinge forward at the hip, like a deadlift. We're gonna walk it out. We're gonna do 2 push-ups. And then we're gonna walk it back in. And then immediately walk it right back out. Modification, you can be on your knees. Just come into that plank before you walk it back in. So it's not this, right? And then push-ups, and then pushing back. We're keeping the legs really nice and straight, but with a soft knee as we're walking out and as we're walking in. So come into that plank and then start walking the hands back. Keep your good push-up form. Gaze is set about 12 inches in front of you. All right, bring it on up. Next up, we're gonna be doing single leg deadlifts. We're gonna spend 1 minute on one side and 1 on the other. If you don't have any weights, or if the deadlift isn't working for your lower back, for whatever reason, you're still gonna do the movement with us. And so your exercise will look something like this, right? You're still practicing that single leg hip hinge while keeping the shoulder blades retracted in the back nice and flat, okay? Options on this, you can hold 1 weight or 2. I think I'm gonna go with 1 today. And if you are holding 1, it's in the hand that is opposite the stabilizing leg, okay? It's like you're reaching across the body for that foot that's on the floor, okay? And if you need to balance, hold on to something for balance, please feel free to do that. All right, guys, getting started. Here we go. We're down and we're up. The key to your balance is finding your focal point and keeping your core tight. The leg is straight. The stabilizing leg is straight with a soft knee. The leg that's going back is also straight, but the knee is locked out. We are halfway there. One of the ways that you can keep the knee from bending too far is to pick up the toes on that stabilizing foot. reaching out with my other arm as if I have a little stool there to help me balance. Rest for 10, and then we're going to the other side. We're ready. Here we go. Keep that back nice and flat. Shoulder blades are pulled back. It is not this. Okay? Keep the shoulder blades in your back pockets. Or pretend like you're trying to hold an egg between your shoulder blades. Both parts of the body have to move simultaneously, the torso and the leg that's coming up. It's not going to work if you're trying to bring this one up and then go down, or vice versa. You really have to move both at the same time. Excellent. We're coming down to the mat. Next up, we're going to do our rainbow side plank. You're side planking, that top leg is going to be arcing over the bottom leg. All right, elbow or hand, your choice. And here's your exercise, here and here. Modification, you're on the knee of the bottom leg. If this part is really hard for you, maybe you have a little boop and a little boop. Maybe you have a smaller arc, right? Do what you can. Just make sure you're not dropping the foot. We don't want that. Take it nice and easy. Switching sides. Bringing it up. Notice my elbow is directly under my shoulder. It's not out there. I'm really pushing through that shoulder too. I'm not sinking down into it. Big breath. All right, last exercise on our list is going to be cadence crunches. I'll start with the usual version and then get the modification. We sit up into boat and we tap, tap, and we come back down. We give a little twist with it. Modification if you need it. We crunch, we tap, tap, and come back down. Pull the belly button in to sit up. Roll the body down one vertebrae at a time to come down. And exhale on your foot taps. I like to try to alternate the foot that I start with. All right, let's take a little break. Grab yourself a sip of water. Towel off if you need to. And then we are back to the top with our squat with an overhead press. Squat with an overhead press. All right, friends. We're going to be getting started in 3, 2, 1. Well, let's go. Nice deep squat. Take it overhead. I'll face you guys this time. Pick up those toes in your squat. That will keep your knees from coming forward. It will keep you pushing your hips back. Keep the chest up. Make sure that your squat doesn't end up looking like this, right? We want to be here. curl. Coming into that plank if you were on your knees, and then we walk it back. Big exhale on the way up. Remember to push through your pecs on the way up out of your push-up. Don't let your shoulders do all that work for you. Take the hips with you in your push-up, don't leave them behind. Almost there. All right, we have that single leg deadlift. So grab your weight or your weights, whatever you might be using. Kettlebells are great for this if you have a kettlebell. All right, guys, getting started in 3, 2, 1. I'll face you guys this time. So remember, if you have a single weight, you are holding the weight in the hand that is opposite the stabilizing leg. Flatten that back. Tip over like that little plastic birdie drinking water. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? That little toy. Keeping that stabilizing leg nice and straight with a soft knee. You should really be feeling this in your hamstrings and your glute. If you're feeling it in your knee or in your shoulders, there's some form correction that needs to happen there. Rest for 10. I will say, when we do a whole minute of these, I really start to feel it in my foot, in the bottom of my foot. So if you're having that issue too, and especially if you struggle with a little bit of plantar fasciitis, then what I recommend is really, sounds crazy, but try to relax the foot. Try not to hold on to the floor with your toes. So pick them up. Put that weight in your heel, not your arch. Holding that egg between your shoulder blades as you move up and down. We're almost there. All right, coming down to the mat for our rainbow plane. I'm going modified. You do what's right for you. The leg is straight, right? The one that's going over. So really try not to get that leverage by bending the knee and pulling it over. Try to keep that leg as straight as possible, even if it means making a smaller little baby arc. This is where we all started. Switch sides. I think I first introduced this exercise about 6 months ago, and this is absolutely where I was with it. It was super, super challenging. But the effects of practice are real. Practice does not make perfect. There's always room for improvement, but practice sure does make things a lot easier. All right, we have our cadence crunches. We start on here. When we bring it up, boat position, tap, tap, all the way back down. application if you need it, like so. Advanced version of the exercise, you're hovering your feet the entire set, even when the rest of your body is down. 15 seconds. Almost there. Let's take a break. 2 rounds down, 1 to go. That means we have 6 minutes left, right? So, you know what I like to say. Empty the tank, empty the tank. Let's give it everything we've got these last 6 minutes, okay? Let's do our very best. All right, you start with that squat with an overhead press. So, go ahead and grab your weight. And we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, sending those hips back behind you, press overhead. Sit down into that invisible chair. Let your butt tap that invisible chair right behind you. As if you're sitting down and suddenly you remember, oh, I forgot something. I better go get it. Pick up those toes. 15 seconds left. All right, walkout push-ups. If keeping the legs straight for the hip hinge is very challenging for you, you can spread your feet out, and that will make all the difference in the world. So just take those feet outside your mat, like so. The wider your feet are, the more you'll be able to, the straighter you'll be able to keep your legs. Take those hips with you, down, and then take them with you, up. Oftentimes we see push-ups that look like this, or once they're down, you see the snaking up. We want the hips to move with the shoulders. They're buddies, they're partners. The hips and the shoulders are gonna move at the same time. All right, grab your weights if you're using it for your single leg deadlifts. All right, guys, getting started in 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, here we go. Remember, dumbbell is in the opposite hand from the stabilizing leg. So, if you have your if you're keeping your left foot on the floor, your dumbbell is in the right hand, and vice versa. Holding that egg between your shoulder blades, keeping your gaze on a single focal point. And look, if you need to hold on to something ever so gently to help you balance, there's absolutely no shame in that. Let's go. There's also something to be said for momentum in this exercise. The momentum itself helps keep you balanced. If with every rep you're hesitant and you're trying to figure out how to get there, you're going to have a more difficult time balancing. So if you just keep that consistent, steady movement, you're going to have a lot more luck with balance. I just caught myself letting go of my egg between my shoulder blades. We have 10 more seconds here. All right, bringing it down for our rainbow plank. Let's go. Elbow directly under shoulder. Also make sure that your shoulder and your hips are in alignment. You don't want to be back here, right? It's very easy to end up there as we move that leg. Just think of it, your hip is literally, it's the joint. It's not doing anything else, but allowing that movement. The butt's not moving, the hips are not moving. They're staying right there while the leg goes over and back. Keep this hip in line with this shoulder. All right, last minute of work, cadence crunches. All right, bring it all the way up if you can. Tap, tap, and back down. Don't forget, anytime we're doing that sit-up or that crunching motion, we're pulling the belly button in toward the floor in order to lift us up. It's like pulling on a chain to get a drawbridge up. It's for sit-ups, for leg raises. We want to pull those abs in. We don't want to push them out. Excellent work today, friends. Thank you so much for being with me. I have a client at 8:45, so I don't have time to stretch you guys today, but I uploaded a stretching video on Wednesday. It is totally available for you to go and access anytime you want. It's the old school wall stretches that we used to do in the gym. So if you would like to have some guided stretching, I invite you to go and click on that video. If you can't find it immediately, you can just search within the group wall stretches or wall or stretches. Okay. All right, y'all have a great weekend. I'll see y'all on Monday for Tabatas.